Welcome back, guys, to another video, and today's video is actually a carry-on, so to say, of a video we posted up. It's probably a couple of weeks ago. It was of the Audi A1 that I bought damaged, and well, as you can see behind me now, it is fully repaired now, and it's all sorted. And I mean, you can see here the car, it does actually look quite nice. I've never really looked into them too much, but it is a nice car, and I'll go through that on the rest of this video. Yeah, so this is basically the second salvage car for the channel. The first one was a G82 M4 competition MX Drive, which we repaired and actually drove it around for a while, and it was a brilliant car. That video is on the channel, so please do feel free to check that out. But this is just another one of them, but it's not nothing like the M4, but it is still a very, very popular, very good car as well. It is the black edition, but this isn't the only one. We've got plenty more to come, so watch this space. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, performance_lifestyles. And we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. Yeah, and if you'd like to do a collaboration, or you'd like your car featured on the channel, drop us an email, pflifestyle@hotmail.com. The email will be on the screen here somewhere, and it is always in the description. So drop us an email, get in touch, and we will be more than happy to accommodate. We'll take a walk around this Audi A1, and then we'll go for a quick little drive. It does actually sound quite nice. It's got a couple of little mods on it, and I'll go through all that on the rest of the video, so check it out. So there it is then, the A1. It's a 2017 S-Line Black Edition 1.4 TFSI S-Tronic, so it's the automatic one. And I mean, even look at that thing, it's actually a smart looking car. And now I can see why a lot of the younger generation people actually do like these. They're a highly desirable car, and yeah, the damage on it was obviously, as you can see on the previous video, was on the front end here. There's a bit of damage here. The crash bar was damaged, and that has all been sorted now. It's got a bit of polishing residue left on the crash bar. And I mean, I did buy a honeycomb grille for it, like the S1 RS1 styles grille as they were advertised as, and it still does have the TRC front splitter. The only thing I made a bit of a, well, not myself, but I ordered a cap for it, the tow hook cover, but they delivered the wrong one, and now it's just a case of finding another one. And just go through where the damage was first. There was a bit of a dent on the door here. You can see the trim there, slightly, little bit of a mark on it, but the damage has actually been repaired on the door. That wasn't actually too bad. The boot lid, again, the glass was smashed, and it did have a kink in it here. That's all been sorted. There you go, for you train spotters out there. And there was also a dent on it here, which has been repaired. I'm not sure if they took the window out to actually do it, but it has been. No, actually, they never took the window out to do it. But yeah, that's all been sorted as well. And obviously the driver's side glass, that's been replaced as well. But I mean, generally speaking, it's actually a very nice car. That grille does make it look like a bit of an aggressive little, one of them little dog style things, the ones that like barking a lot but don't actually do a great deal. But yeah, it does actually make it look quite good, and I think it does spruce up that front end. The wheels actually look quite nice. I think they look great, look very, very good. It is, like I said, the black edition, so it's got the black edition touches, whatever they are. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not going to even try and attempt it. And it's got this black diffuser thing at the bottom, tinted lights. So I did get the lights taken off the old boot lid and put onto the new one. This 3D 4D style number plate, which actually does look quite nice. And yeah, generally speaking, it's actually quite a nice car. And I don't know what that lorry driver's doing over there, but it's actually a nice looking car. And then modifications wise, it's got a Miltech exhaust on it, which does sound good. It's not overly loud, but it is actually quite good. Another thing I actually quite like about this car is, if I open the boot, which I can't seem to do so at the minute, because the lights are on the boot lid here, so when you lift up the boot, you get the lights there as well. It's a nice little feature. And then obviously the boot size, it's very usable, very practical sort of boot. Can't really grumble with that, to be fair, when you're buying a little A1. So onto the inside. Let's turn this off. Again, it's got the S-Line kick plate here. Does look quite nice, and it's got the S-Line interior with S-Line embossed on the seats there. Half leather, half, I believe it's Alcantara, because it does do all that funny stuff when you rub it one way. And it is, like I mentioned, the S-Tronic, the more popular car. Again, the door cards have got a bit of Alcantara on them as well, actually, which is quite a nice touch. And then it's all plastic and a bit of leatherish stuff there. And I need to put this back on. It's the plus ear for the flappy paddles on the steering wheel. So you get a -1 and the +1. Somebody's bitten off the plus ear on this one, so you don't get that. And this does also have these red little rings around here, and I believe they were like part of the RS design pack on the RS3s, which obviously this isn't an RS3, but it still looks quite nice. And then you get the screen at the top here, which you can push down like I just have, and then you can push it back up. It doesn't come with sat nav, even though it is written on here. I believe that was an option that you had to go for, but it was the same screens and everything fitted. You just have to get the modules fitted and that, and then you get obviously the multifunction steering wheel, which yeah, is quite good, and it's even got the buttons for the nav. So either this one's missing a SD card, which has got 2 slots there, or it needs through coding and I don't know, modules. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it is something to do with that. But everything is ready to accommodate the satellite navigation that you would probably fit to the car. It's also got like an auto dim rear view mirror. And it's generally speaking, it's actually quite a nice car, black roof lining. It's actually quite a dark sort of cabin. When it's obviously in the dark, you're driving it, it's actually quite nice. It's got all these nice fancy lights and stuff. And the steering wheel is, you know, the same steering wheel you'd get on the A3s, and so it's quite a nice sort of chunky steering wheel. S-line on the back bottom here, so it's gloss black there. And with it being an auto, you're going to get 2 pedals, and then you get your heater controls at the bottom here, CD player there, and drive select. Now that allows you to choose different driving modes, traction control and heated rear screen. So it's got that, and the glove box, yeah, there's nothing really in the glove box apart from a couple of McDonald's barbecue sauce things. So what we'll do is then I'll show you under the bonnet, and then we'll go for a quick little drive and conclude the video. It's only a, you know, it's not the fastest car we've had on the channel, and it's not going to be the fastest car we're going to have on the channel. So it is just a nice car, and it was, like I said, it was a second salvage car sort of thing that we've done on the channel, so I thought I'd make a video of it completed. So yeah, I thought I'd get that up there, and then we'll take it for a drive. It actually drives brilliant, honestly. Now I can see why these cars are very popular amongst the younger generation of drivers, because they do drive very nice. They're very compact, very tight, very small, very economical as well. So it's not too bad. But this one, obviously, somebody spruced up with an intake and a Miltech exhaust to liven things up a little bit. There it is, then the 1.4 TFSI engine, and it's all standard apart from obviously the MST intake, which does look like it could do with a clean. But the good thing about them is what you can actually do is take them off, clean them all up, chuck them in the washing machine if you want, do what you want, clean them up, let them dry, and then stick them back on, and perfect, they're good to go. You don't have to buy replacement filters, which is what you have to do with the standard airboxes. But as you can see, you know, apologies, the engine bay does need a bit of a clean up, bit of a tidy up. It is just dust, but yeah, I've not actually got to the bottom part of that. And then obviously, as you can see from the previous video that we uploaded of the car damaged, this was all damaged. Most of the front honeycomb was smashed up. So yeah, the new grills fitted, and the headlight brackets weren't actually broken, which was a bonus. It was a very, very big bonus actually, because I didn't particularly want to buy another headlight for it. And I'm guessing that is going to be the ECU for it, which I'm not sure why they put them under there, but yeah, I suppose it's a tried and tested method which probably works, so why not? So yeah, what we'll do is we'll go for a quick little blast, and then we'll conclude the video. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, Performance_Lifestyles, and we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. Like I said about collaboration or get your car featured, drop us an email, pflifestyle@hotmail.com, and we'll be more than happy to accommodate. We'll catch you on the drive. So here we've stripped the front end down, and yeah, filled in the edges of the bonnets where it has a few scratches and a few creases. As you can see there, they're all done. There's no brackets broken on the headlights, which is fine. The crash bars on, painted black because it had to be black. And this is the damage on the passenger door. There was a dent at the top there. They've pulled it, filled it, and it's all nice and straight now, all good. And this was the dent above the driver's side rear window, so they've sorted all that out as well. It's actually quite a straight sort of job, so done a wicked job as per usual. And like I said, these guys did the work on my previous G82 M4 as well, so, and they are, top notch. And then the boot lid, all I've done is swapped over the boot lid, got the lights changed over from the old boot lid onto the new ones because they were tinted. Now back to the video. The drive of this microscopical A1, it's cool. Like I said before, it's actually quite a nice drive. At the end of the day, it's still a German car, it's still an Audi, and they all drive very, very sort of similar. And this doesn't, pull away from that, even though with it being one of the smaller cars on the Audi range. But I think it's the first time I've actually driven, one of these cars, and I think they're quite a nice car. And I've driven, a large, some loony in a Golf. And I've driven a large number of cars to actually compare it to, and it's got that heavyish feel to it, even though I'm sure they're not overly heavy cars. It's got a very good sort of drive, very good build quality, and the steering wheel, actually, like I said, is quite a chunky wheel, which is similar to the ones that you get on the Audi A3s. The only thing with this one is, which I will put back on, is it's got, I think Mike Tyson's bitten off one of the flappy paddles, one of the ears, so it's only got one flappy paddle and the other one is sitting in the door, which I will rectify. But driving it along, it's actually quite nice. And this is also the 1.4 TFSI engine with the cod, and that doesn't mean the fish cod. This is the cylinder on demand. So what happens is when you're cruising along normal, it's only running on 2 cylinders, so half of the engine shuts down, and then the moment it detects that you need the other half, it kind of like kicks back in, and it's like a 4-cylinder engine, and it's brilliant technology. So it's the same as like the R8 V10 Plus, so you get the 5 cylinders running when you're just pottering around in efficient mode or economy mode or whatever they call it. When you do need full power, it detects it's probably based on throttle response and what driving mode you're in, and then it opens up so you get the full force of the 10 cylinders. But on this one, you get the full force of the 4 cylinders and 150 odd brake horsepower. And I did also mention that I believe there is a bit of a hidden story behind this car, in the sense that I just don't think the damage that was all on this car, was related to the bump that it had, because like a window smashed rear screen, and then obviously we found the rock in the boot. And then his little brother was sitting over here on the floor here, so I'm not too sure. So if you do know who used to own this car, or if you owned this car in the past, please do get in touch and let us know what happened. It's just drop us an email, and if you don't want me to mention it on the channel, I won't mention it on the channel. Just for myself, I'd like to know what actually happened, because it was I bet it was an interesting story. So yeah, driving along, I mean, we're at traffic time again, and it is that time of the year where it gets dark very, very early, so bear with. I will see what we can do here. But yeah, it actually drives quite nice, and I am in efficiency mode, so using the drive select button, which is down there, I will put it into dynamic, and now it's in sports mode. This is where it turns to 500 horsepower. And you could actually hear the intake whooshing. Sounds like a dump valve. It has that similar sort of feel to it, sound to it, sorry, should I say. Sounds quite nice. It does come alive. It genuinely does come alive. This thing does sound, and shifts quite okay. So, and if we shift the gear stick over towards the left, now you're in manual mode. It's not, silly amounts of power that's going to throw you back in your seat, but it's ample amounts of power. Especially if you're a new driver, you don't need any more power than what you're getting in one of these little cars. The red line starts at 6,500 RPM, and the speedometer goes to 150, which I don't think this will do. Not that I will be trying to find out, but the downshift sounds quite good as always. Yeah, I think it's a good little car, to be fair. It's got a solid drive to it. So I've done a bit of a blunder. I've actually just been talking to myself for the last 5 minutes, and I've not realised, and I've realised afterwards, that my GoPro had actually put itself into photo mode. So I had just taken a photo and none of the video, so I was a waste of time. But so I'll run back through what I was actually saying, and hopefully we're not going to catch the traffic now, because that was the whole reason why I concluded the video. But I didn't conclude the video because it was only a photo. Oh, these are the things that you have to go through. But yeah, I mean, I think I was saying about the drive. The drive is actually very, very good. The steering wheel is nice and chunky. It's got a solid drive to it, like I was saying. Everything is in the right place. The whole cockpit, the dashboard, everything is nice. The dials are in a good place, good spot. When I say good place, they're obviously going to be in front of you unless you're driving a Tesla, then they're in the middle over here. But the rev counter on the left hand side, which 6,500 to 8,000 RPM, and you got 150 miles an hour on your speedometer, which I very much doubt this car would do, but it's not something I'm actually looking at trying out. So, but yeah, the other thing that this car does have is the COD, which is COD, and that doesn't mean the fish type thing. So it's not, related to Nemo or nothing, but it is cylinder on demand. Now, the cylinder on demand, I wasn't too sure about this as well until I've looked into it, and that is relating to what happens is when you're cruising around, pottering around town, it doesn't use the full 4 cylinders. It just cuts it down to half the cylinders, so you're running on 2 cylinders in essence, and saving fuel economy, and just generally a bit better for the environment. But then when it detects, I'm assuming, throttle response, it kind of like opens up the rest of the engine, and it's you're bang on 150 odd brake horsepower. So not that it's a massive amount of power, but for a new driver, it's quick, S3. So yeah, from a new driver's perspective, I think it's actually not too bad. But yeah, and that is the same technology that they use on the Audi R8 V10 Plus. So when you're pottering around, it's only running on 5 cylinders, and the moment you go to tank it, I'm assuming it opens up the other half, the other banks, and it's that's where the V10 kind of like comes into play, and all 610 horsepower comes in on the V10 Plus. That is the R8, not on the A1, because this thing is only 150 horsepower. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it does whoosh quite nicely. The intake does. It's got, seriously speaking, it's actually got enough power. It's nothing. I mean, with the remap, I'm assuming this car would be around the 200 brake horsepower mark, and for a car this big, it's actually quite a lot of power. I mean, comparing this to like back in the days, I mean, like a Civic EK9 Civic Type R, they had 185 brake horsepower, and that was from a naturally aspirated 1.6 engine. And talking of EK9s, we will have an EK9 on the channel very soon. Not a salvage car, but just a straight JDM import EK9. Yeah, so watch this space. If you're into your JDM cars, that is one to look out for. They are an iconic Japanese car, and the original, I'd say, Civic Type R. Official Civic Type R. And I bet if you're approaching somebody, from behind, that big grille, the honeycomb grille without the number plate on it, can potentially look quite intimidating. But it does aesthetically improve the looks of this car. I actually quite like this. This is quite a nice car. I could even get used to something like this just to potter around town in, and you could chuck it onto the motorway and it'll just nice and happily cruise along. It does actually have cruise control as well, and the indicators are actually on the mirrors and not on the wings, which is a nice touch, very nice touch. So I am going to conclude the video now. It is getting too dark and too busy now, so it's so I am going to conclude the video now. It's getting a bit too dark and a bit too busy on the roads now. So yeah, but like I said, this wasn't comparable to the previous salvage car we had on the channel, which was the G82 BMW M4 competition X-Drive and all the shenanigans. You know, it was a fully loaded, near enough car, beautiful car, brilliant car. I put a photo up on the screen over here and you can see what I'm talking about, and I'm sure you'd probably agree. But yeah, and this was like, yeah, there was a different plan for this car, but that plan has changed. There's no may about it. That plan has changed. So yeah, and this won't be the last one. We've got a couple of other things on the horizon, so do watch this space. I'm doing this from a perspective of from a normal sort of person, you know, who hasn't got access to, or who hasn't got the skill set to actually repair the car themselves. Like, I can't repair a car myself, but you know, it is doable, and it is something that will probably appeal to more people. And obviously then you got the influences like Matt Armstrong, and he's done a brilliant job. I mean, it's like a dream thing, that the work that he does, the channel, all the effort that he puts in, that would actually be a dream thing, which, you know, people like myself and people like a lot of other YouTubers really would absolutely love that. But it's, you know, it's something that just goes to show is doable if you put your mind to it, put the effort in, and which is what I am trying to do. So do help out, if you know, a small YouTuber. Subscribe to this channel and help us grow. These are still big risks that you take, because there's still a lot of money, and the money doesn't come out of we're not making tons of money on YouTube to actually pay for this stuff. This is self-funded as such. So, but like anything in life, you have to put in to get back out. So yeah, you know what I mean. Well, I hope so anyway. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, performance_lifestyles, and we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. If you'd like your car featured and you'd like to do a calibration, I'm sure you don't like to do a calibration, but a collaboration, drop us an email, pflifestyle@hotmail.com, and we will be more than happy to accommodate. Yeah, there's plenty of other reviews on the channel, like over 100 videos on the channel of performance cars, high performance cars, so do check them out. We have genuinely had quite a lot of awesome cars on the channel, so do check them out. Yeah, and stay safe, people, as per usual, and we will catch you on the next video.